Hi, good morning, Mrs. Rotterdam. My name is Natasha Curtin, and this is my video for your class 672. Hi, Dylan. Good morning. So yesterday we talked about the 3 different steps how to make a sedimentary rock. Okay, if you can just quickly look here for me, we went over step 1. Okay, and we said that rocks are slowly weathered and eroded, and bits of rock are broken off and they fall from very high places. Can you remember one of those really high places that we talked about there where rocks can fall from? Very good, from the mountaintops, right? That was the first step. The second step, we said when all this water is moving in the streams and the rivers, it carries all these little bits of rock with it, right? And all this rock is being carried in the water all the way down, and then it's dropped into the what? Into the ocean. Very good, it's dropped into the ocean. Okay, that would be step 3, where all these small little rocks from very, very high up on the mountaintop, when they fall into the rivers and into the streams, and these streams and rivers carry these little bits of rock all the way down, and they fall right down into the ocean. Okay, I'll show you a picture. So do you remember this from yesterday? Yes, very good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the same thing. So you're going to just tell me what I've just told you by looking at this picture, okay? So if we can look very closely at this picture, we can see that step 1 would be right here, okay? Where we have all these small rocks that have been broken off by the weather, and they're going to all land in the rivers and the streams. When these rivers and streams carry all these small rocks down, they're going to fall all the way down here into the sea, okay? What happens is, over time, so over long periods of time, these rocks, they form a big layer at the bottom of the ocean floor, okay? This ocean floor, you can see, has all these different rocks right here. See the different layers of rock? Okay, so when we have this layer, say we have the bottom layer, okay? What happens is when more rain falls and it breaks off these small pieces of rock, these rocks are again carried in the streams all the way down and into the sea. These newer rocks, they land on top of the old rocks, okay? When they land on top of the old rocks, they're going to push that old rock down. So you can imagine if you had a layer of rock, okay? And then we have, let's see, maybe we have a layer of rock like this. And then we have another layer, okay? So we said we have a new layer that's going to fall all the way down. That new layer is going to fall on top of the old layer, okay? So we have the new layer and we have the old layer. This new layer is going to push down on top of the old layer, okay? And when it does that, it flattens it and it makes it really, really hard and kind of a very tough material, like the rock. Do you remember when you went to the Grand Canyon with your family and you saw all this rock? Remember, you told me about this? And you said, you saw, Miss Curtin, I saw all this really big rock and it had all these different layers in it. This is how it's made, okay? As the rock falls all the way down, it's going to form a layer at the bottom of the ocean. Then when a new layer, after a period of time, falls, it's going to have a new layer. It's going to push down on top of the old layer. So we now have 2 different layers, okay? This keeps happening until we have a big rock that's formed with all the different layers in it, all right? So yesterday we talked about how it was made, and today we're going to look at this big picture and you're going to explain it to me. So you're going to remember what you did yesterday and you're going to explain in this picture how the sedimentary rock is made. Okay? Before we do that, I have a question for you. Okay? So we're going to look at this worksheet and we're going to try and find which one is the sedimentary rock. All right? So we have this first rock here, okay? We can see the first rock is kind of white colored and it has all these gray lines in it, okay? And then we have the second one. The second one has kind of small little holes in the rock, right? And then the third one is kind of white with gray lines, but these lines are a little bit different. These lines are big, curvy lines, okay? They're not very straight. So out of these three, which one would you think would be a sedimentary rock? Very good. It would be the first one. Can you tell me why it would be the first one? Excellent, because we have all these straight lines in it, okay? So if you look at a rock, you look at these three different types of rock, you can tell straight away which one is going to be the sedimentary one, right? Because we have all these different layers in it. Now, the one thing I did want to say is between this one and this one, they're a little bit different, okay? Because this one has some holes in it. This one and the sedimentary rock are kind of the same, right? Because they both have layers. But like you just said, these ones have all these straight layers in them. This is the sedimentary rock. This one has big curvy lines in it, and this is different. This is going to be a metamorphic rock, and we're going to talk about metamorphic rocks in 2 days' time. Okay, tomorrow we're going to talk about the igneous rock and how that's made, and then tomorrow, the next day, we're going to talk about the metamorphic rock. Okay, very good. So after you have explained all of this to me, so once you've explained this picture to me and you've told me the three different steps that I said to you yesterday, and you're going to tell me how to make a sedimentary rock, I want you to do this for me at the end of class. If you don't have time to finish this video, it's okay. You can finish it at home, but this is called a checklist. Okay, now I know we've done these before, but I just wanted to quickly show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you are going to tell me 3 things you learned today about sedimentary rock. Okay, so really what you're doing is you're telling me about this picture. So I want you to tell me the 3 different steps in this picture. That's what you would have learned. Okay, and you can write them here, 1, 2, and 3. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to tell me 2 things that you liked about this lesson. Okay, so I know that we talked about when you went to the Grand Canyon and you loved those different rocks, okay, and the rocks that you saw were the rocks that we're talking about now. So that could be one thing that you really liked about this lesson, okay? And then I want you to tell me one more thing that you liked, that you thought was going to be interesting, okay? Then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to tell me one thing you're confused about. So if you're confused about any part of this, if you're confused about the 3 different steps that we talked about, if you're not sure about the picture, you can tell me that, okay? You can write it down, and then tomorrow, before we start with the igneous rock, we're gonna go over what you're confused about, just so I know exactly what it is that you think you're confused about, and then I can explain it to you, okay? So then when I explain it to you, I know you're gonna get it, all right? Very good, Dylan. So we've looked at the picture. You have described the whole picture for me. You've told me the 3 different steps and how we get sedimentary rock. You correctly, very well done, showed me that this one was the sedimentary rock. Okay, that was a really good job. And then for homework tonight, you were going to tell me 3 different things that you learned. Okay, 3 things that you learned about sedimentary rock that you liked, 2 things that you really thought were fun about sedimentary rocks, and 1 thing that you're confused about. Okay? All right, Dylan, good job.